Let's talk about the first matchup of the day between Seattle and Florida. And aLLeY, when it comes to Seattle, still, this team are looking so damn good. Yeah, they looked human last time we saw them on screen, but they're not stopping anytime soon.
I don't expect them to. Not with the ice in Accuratys's veins, and from what we've seen out of them, if they've made small mistakes on the map, and they're still winning. They're literally unstoppable. I think the biggest standout for me, I know Nameless wants to talk about Pred and how much he's been popping off, but I've got to talk about Mack, man. Mack has seriously, that's true, you can pick any of them, but for me, it's been Mack, the route man on the map. Some of his big OBJ clutch plays have been detrimental for the squad.
Yeah, and Nameless, when it comes to the game field keys of victory, other than just being awesome, what else do the Seattle Surge have to do to pull out this W?
Yeah, win the rotation battle on hardpoint. Seattle are #1 in rotation win percentage. Florida is #2. Florida's a team that plays very individual on the map. We've seen it in the past. They have two guys who are #1 and #2 for hardpoint damage, but they can't get hardpoint wins, sitting at a 2-4 record. So Seattle should be okay there. And then early caps to control lead to offensive success. Second in offensive round win percentage, first in average time left after first cap. So they're getting that first cap early on, giving themselves a bunch of different looks, and that is how they're resulting in offensive wins. And then let Florida ban Desert Siege S&D to get the maps you want. Both teams auto veto so far, so you sort of have to just like big brain them, big bro them, and just be like, you guys get rid of Desert Siege because we are confident in our maps. We'll play you on anything, and that could be a big move for Seattle Surge, you know, sort of expanding their map pool a bit before a major. So I'm confident in this team. I think it should be able to come out here and do some work.
Shout out to Carson, by the way. I love what he's doing with the stats. Now, this is a big storyline battle. When you take a look at the rotation story, right? Seattle's first and Florida's going to be second. It's going to be all about the early engagements, and a player like Vivid, aLLeY, to be able to win those fights against the likes of, what, Pred and Simp. It's not going to be easy, but the players on Florida, I think they could actually have a chance here.
My biggest question mark right now, I guess, is if we're going to see Bocage again as the first hard point, because Vivid has consistently put up over 80 engagements on that map, and they're still losing it. So I'm wondering if they're going to let it slip by this time and hopefully fix something that's going wrong on the map.
Yeah, so when it comes to the game field keys of victory, the thing is, Nameless, talking about this team, they're not getting the wins. The stats look good, but they're not able to finish. What has to happen today?
I mean, they have to put it together as a team. Like, individually, these guys, they're playing well. They're getting crazy amounts of engagements, but it's been the same thing from last year with the Florida Mutineers. I don't know if it's an in-game leader issue, a communication issue, but these guys have to get better teamwork.
Right, and aLLeY, the game field keys victory. Florida, they're not going to be the favorites on paper, but hey, they might have a shot, right?
Man, they got to improve the setups in hardpoint. They're 10th in hold percentage right now, and once again, they're outslaying and out-engaging most of these squads. And have a game plan to counter Seattle's quick plans. They're planning 80% of the time, #1 overall, and I'm assuming that's going to do with Tuscan Search and Destroy on that A site. So we'll see if that gets vetoed out in our series today. And of course, S&D turnaround stats with Vivid. 1-4 S&D record. Vivid has a 0.58 S&D KD so far this season, but we've seen what they are capable in S&D. They won 4 straight rounds in Berlin against LAT, so there's no doubt they are capable of doing it, but it's about the consistency across the board.
We know Vivid loves those respawn game types. My man gets busy and gets in all the interactions, but if he could keep that type of flow and search and destroy, that would be an entirely different story. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Pick'em, starting down the line with you, Nameless, man, the OG. Who do you have winning? Is it going to be the obvious in Seattle, or do you think Florida might actually have this?
I got to go with Seattle, Belly.
Right.
I mean, these guys have just been unbelievable. I'm picking them in a 3-0 fashion in this series.
All right, not one map for Florida. aLLeY, are you feeling the same way?
Unfortunately, Belly, I feel the exact same way. I think Seattle's going to take this fairly easily. They've just been looking too good this year.
All right, I'm going to be honest. I feel kind of bad about this. Like, in this matchup, Florida, they're like the ugly kid in school. Nobody wants to root for them. But you know what, Florida? Sometimes I like the ugly kid in class. So I'm going to root for you guys. I have faith. You are awesome individual grace whenever you guys are just hitting at your peak. And hope you can pull this win out. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time to send this over to the casters. My European brothers, Bryce and Ton. This matchup right here, do you think it's going to be as lopsided as these two think it's going to be?
In a word, yes. The problem is this Battle of the Seas, right? When we talk about it, I've been going through all the statistics pre-game, and me and Ton kind of go through them and figure out how we think each individual map's going to go. We look at who they've played. We kind of benchmark them. The problem is there's not an awful lot of highlights for Florida as you kind of go through their record, and it's a tale of two sides of the table, right? Surge at the top, Mutineers are at the bottom.
Okay, Ton, if Florida were to pull this out for a big upset victory before the first major, what do you personally want to see from this team?
Well, we need to see better Search and Destroy, don't we? Look, looking at the map set, we're going to go through it in a second. I don't think it's the worst map set for them whatsoever. I think they'll be fairly happy with it, but they need to convert that into something. And all of their stats so far, it isn't against teams like Search, so it's difficult to predict. But yeah, we need to see their Search and Destroy pick up big time.
All right, fellas, go ahead and have fun with this commentary. But before I leave this over to both of you right now, Bryce, seeing Seattle surge right now in the CDL this year, I mean, 2 rookies coming up in a big way. This team is looking so complete, and I think that heading into the first major in, 2 weeks, they have a legitimate chance of picking up the trophy at the end of the day.
Yeah, they certainly do. I'm not going to lie to you, right? It's been refreshing seeing Seattle Surge do something after 2 years in the CDL. It's like a complete change for everybody watching home. We've already seen them win more in 2022, I think, than we have in the previous 2 years. So if you're a Surge fan, this is your year, and it's looking very good for Major 1.
All right, Tom, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it's nice to see it, and it's also another advocate of the Challengers players coming up. We see 2 in here. Pred, kind of the opposite side of the opposite side of the world completely, of course, coming in and really putting up something that not a lot of people expected. People expected him to come in and do well, but I mean, he has exceeded expectations on a few different levels, I would say. But honestly, the Seattle Surge team have been a surprise. I think I seen it on Reddit the other day, Bryce. People were talking about it. It actually may have been on Twitter. Sorry, who's the biggest surprise package of the season so far? I think the argument was between Seattle and it was between London. Nobody expected this Seattle team to come out and do as well as they have done.
No, to be honest with you, you go back a couple of years and you talk about the Surge giving up about mid-season. At this point, they have had a really good start for it. And when we talk about these games going into this one, obviously it does feel a little lopsided. I'm kind of curious because we speak about statistics and the way we look at this one here. And we talk about Florida's S&D being a particular weak point. The crazy thing is, going through it and the way I've looked at the games they've played, I feel like map 2 might be the one they take if you're going to put this down as a 3-1. I feel like it might be a 3-0, but I don't know. I was looking at the teams they've managed to beat, and S&D Berlin seems to be pretty good for them. But I don't know. Everybody at home must be feeling like this is a one and done.
You would think so, but look, we both kind of had that idea, but then I was looking through the maps, I was looking through the stats, which I've got up on my screen once more. The only map that Seattle have lost in Search and Destroy is Berlin Search and Destroy, and it's the only map that Florida have won in Search and Destroy, as far as I'm aware as well. So, I mean, look, that's kind of something that you could lean in the flavor of Florida. There's a couple of other points in some of the other maps as well. Control Tuscan, you would argue out of the 2 maps that we have there, it is a better one coming in for Florida than it would be for Gavutu coming up. Of course, it's still good for Seattle as well. But Bakash Hardpoint, which we're going to be going into for map number 1. Florida are 1-2 on this, but it's not a horrible pick for them. They were a point away from being 2-1 in Bakash currently, but at this moment in time, Seattle undefeated as well. But if you want to start the series for Florida, you want to try and get to something mixy, get those engagements up, get the slaying up and running, and try and shock Seattle as best as you can.
Yeah, they really need to hit the ground fast and hard here. Florida not had the greatest of season so far. Surge in kind of a resurgence for this entire team. And I wonder how this is going to play out. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen an upset in the CDL this week. Could we be seeing a second as both teams start to head into Hardpoint 1?
Well, we've just about got there, don't we, Resi? As we jump into this, it will shake it off. It's getting late already, but we've got a couple more casts to go tonight. And, well, Skies, he's heating up already for the squad. And we're going to need the Mutineers to really come to play here today. I got it down in terms of the maps. I feel like this is absolutely needed by Florida Mutineers if they want a chance in this series. And it is the kind of map that can go on to get in their direction, I should say. And right now, over towards this first hill. It is currently the most contested hill in Vanguard, and showing that so far only around 13 points to disseminate between both these 2 teams. Kill starting to come through for Surge, though. They clean house. They got the spawns they need for P2, and that's all you want coming out of the first hill.
Yeah. And at the moment, just back and forth with these 2 teams. P1's never a big hill, at least until second rotation. Teams can get a little bit of set up here. But now with the rotation coming, you can see Surge are feeling pretty confident, pushing the Mutineers out a decent distance. Pred trying to slow them down just a bit here, as that push does eventually come in from the Surge. Mack, though, hunting, looking, knows the players are here, and has backup from the rest of his team.
Yeah, Skies inside the hill doesn't really have a whole lot of support. Surge are happy with this rotation, but Mutineers happy to slow down the points that will be accumulated as quickly as possible. Good shots coming in from Mack, predicts to predict positions coming in from Dav Paddy. Looking down the hill time here as best as they can. It's been a good start from Surge so far, but guys that you need to start getting heated up for the Mutineers, Vivid, DavPaddy. We haven't seen that so far in this game. I say that as Dav to find 2. Gonna be able to break this open. Surge still with the spawns.
Yeah, very much what we expect here from Bakaj. Very, very mixy, very, very tradey all the way through. At the moment, Seattle Surge to the business. Vivid, though, flying in with the bounce. That's 3 for him in a row now, and they'll get some scrap time. I don't know how much is going to matter. The rotation is in. Awakening is here.
They've got the rotation locked down here, Brycey. They've done well. They need to keep an eye on Sib towards the back. But the first ones here, they win the rotational fight, so a good moment here potentially for Florida. Out of it goes Awakening, finds one onto Sib. Is accuracy going to fall the same way? I'm not too sure. Fight coming in. It's going to be Vivid with the backup. They've now got them spawning towards the back as well. They can lock this in.
Well, here they go. Waiting to try to get this pinch coming through. Vivid actually playing it very, very calm here. Playing for this streak. He's going to play for him as well. So he's let down. That's the easiest streak you're going to get in the end. Playing not even let him. Doesn't matter. Gets a second one as well. Should have never won that. But it's now back and forth. I will say this. The Mutineers have come back into this game. All it does take is a rotation.
Yeah, very well played by Vivid. Just in and around Grandma's, getting into the mixer once more. Those engagements falling his way this time. I believe that was the 7th spree before he does go down. They've got the rotation now heading over towards P3. Honestly, this is really not a bad map when it does come down to the Mutineers. Seattle Surge 1-0 on them. They're a very, very well-rounded hardpoint team. Mutineers just getting aggressive, and once more Vivid is here, finds 2. Can't find anything else, and the team will get pushed out of that back spawn. Surge do retake the lead. But nonetheless, it's a good map for Mutineers and not a bad start from them so far.
Oh, at the moment you can see accuracy just trying to hold it down a little bit there. Not going to be able to. Simp alone. Awakening going to actually challenge, and he somehow gets the trade. They both actually end up dying in that gunfight.
Shots in from Mack, trying to get the entry. DavPaddy will find 1 and 2 and 3. Nelly would have found the 4th, but Skies cleans it up. DavPaddy gets moving over towards P4. Not going to happen for him this time around, though. As we move over towards the riverside, over towards Boat. It is going to be Surge locking this one in. The majority of this final amount of time going to go over towards the Mutineers, you would expect. Fred was causing issue. That scrap time will go their way. It's now all about the rotation.
Oh, Sky's playing patient. He knows he needs some reinforcements before he tries to make a move here. Getting a trade at this point won't matter or anything, and here it comes. This is May able to make the move. Actually goes down. The glide bomb is going to come in, but I don't know if they're really in a position to push this as much as they would like.
Yeah, the problem is that for Vivid, you need the rest of your team to stay alive when you call that in. Now Fred's going to start getting aggressive. What can he do with the SMG? There's 1, there's 2. Snaps onto the 2nd as well. Very well played from Fred, and he breaks that down very, very quickly. The rest of the Surge there to clean up shop. That streak invested for absolutely nothing in the end.
Yeah, and Fred is just playing with the moment. He's been such a nuisance. Tries to get a few more kills there. At the moment, the Seattle Surge are pushing the Mutineers miles away from River. They've made a huge hold here on Bakaj, and they are going to go back into the lead. But though, looking for more kills, get those stats up even further than he already has. 17 and 13 for him as he now continues his reign of terror, looking for these players, all this rotation. At the moment, it will be the Mutineers who have an opportunity to try and get some points back in Barn.
I was about to say, it looks like Surge are going to lock down every single point possible, heading over towards that boat side. Isn't able to in the end, but the lead is theirs once more. They were behind before we headed over towards that hill, and now we're back into the first. Who's going to get a hold of these spawns? This could be a big kill, as Skies does find it in the end on accuracy. Can he get Simp as well? Good shots from Skies. Really well played. They get the side of the map that they want in terms of spawns, and Skies just keeps on rolling forward.
This guy's having a good time here in mid-map, just continuing to play the point of keeping them as far away from P1 as possible. At the moment, you can see Sid managed to get 2 back as well here. Now, CL Surge will start playing for positioning. You'll see them trying to push through as well. Mack just snaps in that second play. Doesn't actually manage to get it. Awakening holding these spawns down here for the Mutineers. And Simp trying to do a little bit of work as well. They are trying to slip this defense, get behind them, get those spawns in for next. They've been doing it for about 20 seconds without much success.
Yeah, good kills coming in, but accuracy very much playing to his name as he finds those shots. But the final few kills, the important ones in terms of rotation, do fall the Mutineers' way. Looking at this rotation, the spawns, it is going to be locked in for the Florida Mutineers over towards P2. This was at the beginning of the game when the first few times that Bakaj was played. They're very much the money hill when it does come down to hardpoint. It's mostly P4 now, but still, you can pick up a lot of time over towards this side. Can the Florida Mutineers lock this one in? Only 15 points or so behind.
I would go and say that Mutineers have been locked in since the second set of rotations. They haven't really budged after losing a lot of time on the river. Surge are floundering just a little bit. It hasn't been going their way for the last minute and a half. Vivid continuing to rain terror as well. Finds accuracy, says thank you very much. And keep an eye, because they are going to struggle here, Seattle Surge. They might finally have managed to get themselves near that hard point and keep their lead, but it hasn't been clean.
The problem is Vivid gets aggressive there for the Mutineers, but nobody else can stay alive towards the back spawn. Eventually, they will get the spawns back, and they will get those final few seconds. Accuracy towards the back, though, will find that kill, as pointed out, and this will be a fairly decent lock for the Surge over towards P3. A very, very tight game here, though, in the second rotation. We are pretty much even as we head over there, but Simp locking down these rotations, finds 3 on that as well. There's a 4th. Can he find a 5th onto Awakening? Not quite. Very well played. Awakening can't find the 2nd, but this rotation from the Surge, they get that in there, they lock it in the spawn side, and then they force their way out as well.
Oh, Fred looking for another streak here. He's trying to get that glide bomb, and he will. Gets that back in the pocket, and he's actually going on a little bit of a hunt here. Going to get these players coming off respawn. They won't be expecting him because they'll be hitting the sprint to get near the hill as quickly as possible. Finds Awakening, tags him up. Awakening, he's going to go down to his teammate as well as a player. River, though, will eventually end that streak. And Seattle Surge, with this rotation, have gone back into the lead. And it doesn't look... I'll be honest with you, at this point in the game, I have no idea who's going to win it.
I mean, it's coming down to these rotations are absolutely massive every single time. These two teams are at the top percentage of rotational wins when it does come down to hard points. Seattle first, Florida second. And when they are getting these rotations, they are locking them in every single time. Surge, I would say, probably been the better at it in terms of, well, of course, the score is in their favor, but every time they've got a good lock on a hill where you can pick up a decent amount of time, they've picked up it in bundles. Fantastic work from the Surge so far. This rotation over towards the bomb, though, they're currently locked into it. Florida Mutineers not too far away, and Mack's got something to say, but not going to quite able to lock this one down. The Surge have got a hefty lead here now. Pricey, 40 and 50 points is the difference.
It is. Mutineers will still have the better spawn for this one as they continue to pile the pressure on, but Surge trying to stay alive, but they get wiped out eventually with 27 seconds left to go. Both teams start going to thinking, well, River rotation, how do we get this one locked down completely? We probably won't see that actually go through. TJHaly on a 5 streak as well. And this is coming down close again here. The biggest kills we need to watch, rotation kills, and TJHaly is making it work. If he can get this as well, he's looking for that glide bomb, but the pistol won't allow him to get it. Surge have control of the rotation.
Oh, Mack just flies at him as well. Huge kills coming out from him. TJHaly and Awakening in the middle of the map, though. They know how it went down last time we were at this hill. They need to lock in these rotations. You can see Seattle still spawning towards the back. His Sky's going to be aware of this as they just about clear them out. They know exactly where they're spawning. Do they know accuracy's round on the right? Here comes the streaks from Pred. This might help break it open.
Oh, not quite, not quite. And you can see Surge still with a little bit of control, though. It's going to be a bit mixy. There's an awful lot of Mutineers players in and around River, and I'll say that they're going to win a lot of gunfights here. Paddy's going to find Simp. Simp's going to just cut him down, and his teammate Skies. Just thank you very much. Trying to get more points there, but the spawns have now flipped. Mutineers are coming from the backside. And when we go back to P1, Ton, there's still very much anyone's game.
Still 15 seconds to play for here, and it looks like the Mutineers are going to get a hold of it. So by the time we do get back over towards P1, we should be in an even game as we head into the third rotation. And by the way, with 1:35 left on the clock, are you kidding me? Never happens. And just point something out. Obviously, Vivid isn't 6 and 7, but here we are.
We see looking for that one. Oh, Sky's doing some big work there with a 2-piece. Neither team really going for this P1, and this is where the time might slip away. It's just all about battling, trade after trade, trying to figure out if you can get the rotations for next to try and end this game. Neither team actually really even committing any bodies to P1 at the moment. However, the Mutineers do manage to get on it, and they flip the spawn out.
Yep. Awakening finding 2 kills on that left-hand side was absolutely huge. They forced it out that way and stopped Seattle Surge spawning down that side. And the fact that he finds 2 with his auto there is very non-reminiscent of my auto and rank play so far. Huge players from him, and it is going to be Florida with that lock-in of spawns. Accuracy is going to fall there as well. So if Skies can find this kill on the outside, inside the barn is the last player remaining currently for the Seattle Surge, and that's going to be Pred. Finds 1 second as well there with the help of his team. Can he force them out?
Looking for it up top. Pred's going to try and find no, but Vivid hits him with the movement and says, no, thank you, not today. The rotation is about to hit, and it looks like it's going to be the Mutineers to hold. They will take the lead here. And the Seattle Surge, they've got to flex those shoulders. They've got to get ready. Hit this with a stack. But this is all the Mutineers now.
Such a big game for the Mutineers. Pred now making his way through. Mack finds a kill as well. Spawns towards the back, though. Surely going to be there for the Mutineers. Paddy, though, needs to lock it down. Awakening's now going to fall. Paddy does find a second. Right now, though, it's the time going over to the Surge. Can Florida find their way through? Shot's going to come in from Skies. Nobody really contesting at the moment.
Have to fight the Skies is going to try and be a problem. Going to try and figure out whether or not he can just get a few more kills onto it here. It will be the Mutineers back onto that point, though. They should go back into the lead as they get a few seconds and the scrap time. I think Surge is setting up. They're going to set up. They're going to try and end this on the next hill. They have to hold. It wouldn't be the first time we see Mutineers lose on this hill. And keep an eye on Vivid. Vivid finds one. Now going to go for the move. Looking for it. Eventually gets cut down. Nobody here for the Mutineers for the rotation. The Surge have a couple of seconds spare, and this may be the only hit. Mutineers may only have one opportunity to break this.
Oh, look at this hold from the Surge. They're 20 points away. Mutineers just need to get together. Look how far away they're spawning. They've got pretty much one push at this. Bryce, 10 seconds.
Vivid's going to lay them in. He's going to look for this first kill. He's looking for Pred. Not a good name. Not a good name. Pred's going to find him on the outside. The rest are coming in now. Awakening looking for Mack at the back. Vivid's managed to already kill one. Simp's going to take two, though. And it's just not going to be enough. Pred wipes them out. That'll be the game. The Mutineers had the opportunity, but they did not have the position. And you can see it written on their face. They know that was an opportunity to take this first map.
Huge opportunity. Huge. The Mutineers really made a game of it, but Seattle, that rotation over towards that B3 hill on the third rotation of hills is what does it for them. The 40 bomb from Sib. 40 and 32, I should say. Vivid did have a really good game. I know it turned 12 and 14, but it must have reset halfway through the game, strangely, but nonetheless, was definitely putting those engagements down, was the guy at the forefront for Florida Mutineers. But they just couldn't get it done. You know what sometimes can make a bit of a difference is that when Pred was pushing out, when that rotation was in towards the end, it was really a massive muddy hill for the side of Seattle Surge, though. A couple of times they got that rotation over towards P3 first, and every single time they made Mutineers punished.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, there was a big amount of time I thought the Mutineers might have been able to hold it. Surge did such great work on P2 to just kind of deny them that cushion that they were expecting. And yeah, I've got to say, you know, it's always a bold call to say, right, we're going to set up. Bearing in mind, right, I think it was the Mutineers we saw do this, that they just lost on that hard point when they set up. They couldn't get enough time down. Seattle Surge held them so far away, and they were respawning in Narnia every single time. They needed a good stack, and they needed a couple of clean gunfights to get in a position to try and fight that effectively. It never happened. Surge were gunning them every time they thought they might have a chance.
And I think this is it from Pred when he does push forward towards the end. Yes, he did die at that point, but he forces them away. You don't want to blame it on the stun from Vivid, but that's never going to help things out. Bounces off the wall, probably slows your teammates down, and I mean, the last guy that you want there in that position is Paddy, as the Seattle Surge will lock in that final point. 250 to 236, though, and I'd argue a lot of people wouldn't have expected it to be as close as that, but when it does come down to Picage, we do know that the Surge are a very proficient hardpoint team, but for Florida Mutineers, it was potentially a map for them to take. 250 to 236, though, and all of a sudden, it's not necessarily a mountain to climb for Florida Mutineers, but the Search and Destroy coming up in just a moment is another opportunity for them to do something here. But you really felt like that map one was something they could have done.
Yeah, you certainly do, and I think it was a big map for them as well. Now, talking about the S&D, I know there's been some detractors speaking about thinking that maybe the Mutineers need to step up on this one. I've gone back and I've looked over it. Yes, Pred, yes, Skies, both incredible for their teams, but the difference is going to be is that I think Seattle, they've just had some very, very good wins, right? They've only lost this to Røkkr. They've beaten the Ravens. They've beaten New York. Say what you like about New York. They've still got some very talented players. Florida, they've beaten the Guerrillas, and they have beaten Toronto. This, for me, might be the map that Florida can take away. If they had got map one as well, we'd be talking about a very different series. I am interested to find out how this one is going to go. And of course, talking about Pred, talking about Skies, name on everybody's lips at the moment for some of the most talented players in this league. And sometimes the results don't always kind of reflect what is going on inside the actual teams. Tan, I'll be honest with you, I feel like the Mutineers have all the pieces. They're just not in the right places or order.
Yeah, they've kind of been close, but no cigar multiple times, haven't they? They've come very, very close. I think the only game where I felt like they've been completely blown out of the water was against London. Other than that, they looked okay against Thieves. They looked okay in that map there specifically as well, up against Seattle Surge. And bearing in mind as well, remember last time on Bacage Hardpoint, they lost it by 1 single point to Toronto Ultra. So they're not losing to terrible teams by any stretch of the imagination. The Mutineers, like the Røkkr, have kind of had a hard run of things. They have been in every single game that has been very, very difficult for them, has kind of fallen the wrong way, unfortunately, but only by a few points here and there. I don't think they're a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. And just to touch on your Berlin statistics, Seattle, this is the only Search and Destroy map that is lost, and for Florida, it's the only one they've won. Last time around, it was down to Skies and Dave Paddy, who went absolutely huge for Florida. It was 12-6 and 11-5, respectively. A very, very big game out of them against the Thieves. That was a 6-4 victory for Florida. It's their only S&D win of the season so far, outside of kickoff, of course. And for Seattle, it's up to them to step up to the plate on this map specifically. It's been their only crease in what is quite a flawless Search and Destroy record. And can they step it up here just that little bit more for the side of Berlin, on the side of Berlin Search and Destroy? But just figuring out a couple of things yet before we do head into map number 2. Berlin Search and Destroy potentially coming up next.
Yeah, I was going to say there might have been a development ton. We are obviously waiting on the final word to come down, and about map 1. So keep your eyes peeled, keep on it. And I can confirm now, actually, map 1 is going to be replayed. For everything you just watched, it was basically just free Call of Duty. It was just a great thing to watch, and we'll get another chance to see it again because of the Vivid disconnect. We are going to go back and jump into map number 1 on Bacage. So, if anything, a little bit of a sigh of relief for the Florida Mutineers, and they'll be trying to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Back into Bacage once more. You know, I was wondering when I seen Vivid's stats. I didn't even see him disconnect, to be honest with you. Nonetheless, here we are. We go again. I mean, what a way to start our day, and what a way to start this day for Seattle Surge and the Florida Mutineers. Bacage Hardpoint ×2. Why not? Let's straighten it. I mean, you'll be drained mentally by the end of this alongside me and you, trying to keep up with what's going on. Engagements are hot and heavy, so hot and heavy that Vivid's PC apparently crashed. Here we are, though. We'll go again in the Mutineers. Well, if you think you were unfortunate the first time around, here's a chance to potentially turn things around. The Seattle Surge, though, will it allow the Mutineers to be as close as they were last time?
Well, let's find out on board with Vivid, and he's going to go down straight away. It will be Seattle Surge to open up this Bacage Hardpoint. And just a few points here, Skies playing a little bit slow, probably waiting for some reinforcements to start making moves to get the trade through. Unfortunately, not a single trade to be seen on the timeline. Where are the Mutineers?
Well, I mean, momentarily, I thought all of them had disconnected from this one because we haven't seen any engagements really fall their way. Surge are the ones who are looking for that rotation, look at accuracy all the way around towards the other side. And wow, Surge have come out of the gates absolutely screaming. His accuracy finds another down this left-hand side. Florida Mutineers just being forced away once more. It's an absolutely flawless start from Surge.
Well, at the moment, you can see the Florida Mutineers not having a good time. No, Vivid hits them with a hot one. They're going to try and break this P2. They have the numbers in position. They're going to try and go for this. Vivid leading. Once again, actually, no, I think Skies has gone through before him as well, but there are trades flying down again for Surge, and every time the Mutineers can't really get a good position in a toehold onto this one, they're going to struggle to break it, but Vivid doesn't care. Vivid is dancing on the rooftops, eventually gets 2. His teammates are now trying to back him up. It's Dave Paddy and Awakening you can see on your screen. And while they have got this position here, the Seattle Surge are not far away.
Yeah, this map has Vivid written all over it. Dancing around the rooftops entirely there. Absolutely crazy from him. How Skies won that gunfight. This Pred falls down. It's almost like the bullets just didn't register for Pred. Nonetheless, Skies will take it. Thank you very much. Vivid continues off where he left. 6 and 4 from him. That had yet to get on the scoreboard. But here we go. Surge, where were they so successful last time around before the replay comes through? It was very much over towards this P3, but look at how well Florida have already flipped it. They put Surge back on P2 spawns and already cleared it out. Much better from the Florida Mutineers, and they're technically playing 3v4 one spot.
Well, Vivid says, hey, what happens when I don't disconnect? Gunning is what happens. Hey, Paddy at the moment probably feeling a little frustrated. Plenty of damage on the board, I think, but not enough kills. Well, it doesn't really matter. This game is about points. Florida Mutineers currently up 53-32. And the Surge are now trying to break them.
And They find their way through. Right now, Owakening does find two of his own. Mack towards the back. And this window is always difficult to deal with. Can he find a third as well? aBeZy holds it well with the pistol kills coming on through. Simp is there for the contest. Surge have actually not done too bad of a job here to limit the Mutineers to as little points as possible. We will get the back spawns, but with only 12 seconds remaining, I'm going to be able to make that much use of it.
So actually trying to do something. They're going to quite be able to as they look for this next set of rotations, the Mutineers to hold. And it seems like that replay may have lit a bit of a fire under them.
For all that we, said that it was a very close game, number one, I am very, very curious at how long Vivid was actually disconnected. I honestly didn't even see it. I was too locked in to aBeZy, to be honest with you, to notice that Mutineers only had 3 players. It was a very, very close end. What's the difference if he's in there for however long he was out? As the difference is right now, only around 20 or so points. It's all been Surge on this rotation, though. That kill feed has not been Florida Mutineers green for quite some time, as Owakening eventually does find a kill onto Pred.
On board with Awakening as he tries to make some pistol magic happen, and he's going to continue to do so. Back out with the MP40. Eventually we'll go down to Sib, but you are right. This has been all Surge so far on this hard point. Keep an eye, though. Accuracy with the long flank. He's going to be caught as well. Sky says, hey, I've seen you. I've read it. Get out of here. This is our spawn.
Vivid trying to push the issue over towards the final 10 seconds of scrap. But how well did Surge lock it down last time? Can the Mutineers do the same? It's going to be a tall order, especially with Mack inside of Grandma's now. That becomes a little bit of a problem. He plays towards the back. We've got to concentrate on potentially 2 different ways now. Mack's going to be pushing up for Grandma's, and towards the back is surely going to be accuracy. They both get taken down, though. Good hold so far.
Looking for it, and Simp just completely outnumbered there. Has 2 players going against him. Easy read to begin with. And at the moment, Seattle Surge are not near River. They're not going to have an awful lot of chance to grab this back if they can't make a few entering kills. And those Skies just picks off him so easily up top. Fred trying to do some work, though. Unfortunately, again, they are outnumbered here. Mutineers have the bodies, and that is just telling in the gunfights.
Yeah, they're able to lock this one in, and, well, at the moment, Surge are actually just trying to push through the front door. Can they manage to get it? That's a big kill by Pred. Sim's the only one who can find a kill towards the end as aBeZy finds one of his own. Surge are not able to quite jump into the hill here, but they have forced the Mutineers back. Looking towards P1 as accuracy finds 3. It's something that can possibly be done for the Surge to lock down a decent amount of time here. If you can force them out, if you can keep them out, get a full 4 down, it's something you can do, but however it goes, Surge will head into the second rotation down here. aBeZy, just a really good hold over towards P3 from the Mutineers, locks that one in.
Again, both teams just trading back and forth here, giving us absolutely no clues to how it will finally end out. But aBeZy just trying to do it, and you've got to remember he had a very slow start. Seems to have warmed up perfectly, though, on that 4 streak. And again, all this positioning play around P1, something you're afraid to touch. It's like the floor is lava inside that hard point because they don't want to give away an easy kill.
Just want to keep a hold of these spawns as best as they possibly can. aBeZy doing a really good job right now. 5 spree and all. Finds the pixel of Sip through both windows. There you go. Streak's nearly on the go with the glide bomb. Obviously the target so far for aBeZy, and that's why he's just holding down River. Is Mack gonna make the mistake of running into the River Monster on the outside here, aBeZy? The rest of the team doing well on the other side of things, though, to lock this one in. Really looking for this glide bomb, but also slowing down his ability to help his team on the other side of things. He's going to get bad timing as well with Mack, and all of that waiting for that spree comes to absolutely nothing.
Yeah, an awful lot of patience there from aBeZy, trying to get it, hoping someone would push, and the time he looks away, someone arrives. Awakening, though, is going to get 5 regardless. They know the players from Surge are trying to get around the back of this one, and they are shutting it down. They are refusing to let Surge anywhere close with any sort of force.
Like this here from the Mutineers, looking for that P3 rotation once more. They've given Surge the back spawns with only 20 seconds to go here on P2, and they're still locking this time in. Crucially, here goes Vivid once more. Skies is going to get the job done for him, though. But looking towards this, race towards the back here. aBeZy is going to have to be influential here. Mack is the gunfight that he's going to have to take just in a moment, but Sib out from Grandma's will cut that down. This rotation looks like it is going to go Surge's way, and it needs to. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, Surge are floundering on aBeZy. They're just not having a good time at all. This replay isn't going there well. However, they do manage to clean out a little bit. The Mutineers now have to try and get back up in this one. And you are right, Ton. They do need the time. Surge want every single second of this next 40 to try and get back into this game somewhat.
Oh, Vivid's actually found a way through as well. The spawns may well be in the favor of Seattle Surge, but they've lost every other gunfight towards the front. Accuracy will find 2, though. Easing that pressure somewhat, but Sky's inside the hill. Vivid inside the hill. Can they lock this one down? Accuracy will find 1. Vivid's there, but so is Simp. downPatty the next one in. It seems to be one by one by every single member of both teams, and not be able to benefit that much, to be honest with you. Surge has closed that gap ever so slightly, but not nearly as much as you would have wanted to with that rotation towards P3.
No, they're not going to. The Mutineers were never going to allow them to get clean time on this. They know they have the advantage. They'll keep pushing it. They also have the rotation. Surge have not been having a lot of fun running into the teeth of these guns. There's a beatdown inside. And it is going to eventually go the way of Seattle Surge. Keep an eye on Simp. They're going to rely on him here to try and make some sort of big play. There are players all around him. Just want to go in. They're going to know here as soon as he does. He finds Owakening under the stairs. Somehow managed to get that gunfight. And Seattle Surge are through. They have found a gap. The Mutineers, though, are splitting the difference. They are going around every single direction, Ton.
This guys should clean up here on the Simp as well. Doesn't quite get rid of him, but pushes him away. Spawns have now been flipped in as far as hills go. This is the hill that really has been the one that's been the highest amount of hill time found for the rotational advantage that does come on through. Right now, the Mutineers very close to that 220 mark. They are absolutely blowing Surge out of the water here. It just feels like such a strange game. Mutineers are picking up points left, right, and center. Surge are finding the kills, but can't lock in at any time.
They can't, and they're going to have to rely on Røkkr. Last time we thought they might have this, and then it all went away from them. Accuracy, though, looking all the way down Røkkr. Seems to have Paddy right up top, and that's a big kill as well. That will slow down the Mutineers just a little bit if Mack can withstand the pressure he knows is coming. Finds guys as well. Accuracy continuing to do work. Røkkr is held now by the Seattle Surge.
That Paddy now looking to try and find a breakthrough here. The Surge know how much time they can get on this hill specifically. They've done such a good job at it. There's Accuracy finding a kill on a downPatty. Awakening towards the back, though, will take down Mack, and here comes the pressure once more from the Mutineers. Always towards the back, and, well, they found the kills as best they can. Simp finds one inside the point, but this next fight could be crucial as Awakening looking to try and get the spawns for his team, but it's still Surge towards the back.
Surge done a great job here to get points back into the game, but the Mutineers are like, hey, there's some scrap time there. That's all we really need. They're going to have to continue to push this one forward as fast as possible. If Seattle Surge are going to surge, the time is now. We head back into our next set of rotations. And I don't know. I don't think the Mutineers are going to want to let this one slip at all. They're even going for the P1 time.
Grenade coming out on the challenge there from Vivid. Now starting to get aggressive. They can really lock down some decent amount of time here with this setup that they have. Keep an eye on Awakening down to the tank side. If he can lock that in, and if Vivid can stay alive here, then maybe something can be done. But Mack finds 2. Is this the break that Surge need? 40 seconds remaining on this hill, but only 12 for Mutineers to find.
I see Paddy again. Very familiar. Oh, they're actually going to go around here. And that's the scary thing. That is the scary thing. Mutineers know if they can get a little bit of a clear off here, they can actually just take time on P1, and that's what they're doing. You can see them putting the pressure on. Seattle have to keep reacting to it. Sky is jumping on. More players coming through. Vivid finds another one as well. And they are punishing the Surge every single time they contest them for P1. Now with P2 up, they are in control again. Mack trying to make a play here, and Seattle Surge cannot put a foot wrong. This is so difficult for them to make their way back into this game.
Yeah, it's really difficult. This has been locked down well, but a few kills fall their way. Pred and Simp get control of the barn. Awakening is there to answer back, but he gets shut down. Where the spawn's going to lie, it's looking like they are going to go over towards the Surge. They can lock in a decent amount of time here. 42 points is the difference, but Mutineers still only need 8.
Tingle coming in could be disastrous. Sky jumps around somehow. Simp stays alive, though. Vivid has come through as well, and it will be the Mutineers back on the time. That does mean they have to go for it. Surge are not close enough.
Gotta go.
I don't think they're going to get there in time. Surely not. Awakening takes down 1. Accuracy up top. He's going to fly. He hasn't done it. The Mutineers will win the replay. Turns out Vivid is the difference.
Oh, yeah, they had to have 2 goes at it, but my goodness me, the Florida Mutineers potentially start an upset here. Vivid, when he's in the full game, is there to be able to help the Mutineers across the line. When it comes down to Bacasian, it has to be said, it was relatively comfortable. At one stage, it was a 100-point difference, and there's the difference. 34 and 37 from Vivid. The engagements once more are there, but Awakening has a huge game as well at 36 and 27. Honestly, in terms of the kill feed and the scoreboard, relatively even across the board, but when it comes down to making those big holds, the Florida Mutineers did a much better job the second time round.
Yeah, I was going to say this as well. The Surge put themselves in such a deep, dark hole. Every time they were down so far on Bacage, they didn't really have an opportunity to come back into it. Look, relatively even at this point in the replays. The worse it gets for Surge, the more they have to fight quickly for that time. And Florida Mutineers are quite happy to take one by one. They are quite happy to take advantage of it. They were slaying everywhere they could, and the Mutineers come out with a very, very big map 1 win.
They did such a good job. And that's a real big bounce back. And how potentially mentally draining is that for the Surge? They go through, they win. They have to, rightfully so, go for it again because of a bit of a disconnect. They go back in, then they get beat. So where are they at now? They need to be in that moment where they sort of say, right, okay, look, that's just an unfortunate scenario. We have to go again. We weren't able to do it. We're going to head into these next couple of maps and maybe something could be done. But for the Mutineers, that has got to be the wind in their sails, quite literally, from Bacage after a 250 to 200 point win over the Surge. That's a big, big map number 1. Not the Florida Mutineers, and they're going to be heading into map number 2. Very confident Berlin Search and Destroy. We discussed it beforehand, before we thought we were going into it. We don't mind it so much for the Mutineers, so they're going to be feeling good heading into this map number 2.
Yeah, they certainly are, and that's maybe the momentum they need. It's not been a great start to their season, for their campaign all the way to the World Championship, but hey, if you start slow, but you win in the end, it's still winning. It still counts every single step of the way. But yeah, I've got to be honest with you, blowing this kind of entire series wide open in some respects. The Mutineers have never been a terrible team. They've just not had a great start. And Surge, everyone expected them to win that first map, I think. A lot of people have been saying 3-0 straight out of the gate here. Obviously, no longer a realistic possibility.
It isn't, and honestly, I said we were discussing it beforehand when it was coming down to, we've seen the picks and bans, we get them about an hour before the show starts so we can kind of go through everything. And looking at the stats, in terms of that side of things, I know stats don't necessarily mean everything, but these map picks were not terrible for the Mutineers. And something else as well, a lot of their losses have been very, very close. Look, they lost to Toronto Ultra the other day, or last week, I should say. It came down to 1 point difference in the hard point. They then went on to win one of the other maps. I can't remember specifically, but that then potentially sent it to a map number 5. They go to a map number 5 with Thieves as well. This team are so close to being kind of mid-pack that it's not even funny. Like, I know they're sitting in a poor record right now, but they've played some really, really good teams and have pushed them to the distance. Yes, okay, you can argue they haven't been able to make the difference to finally turn these into wins. But I honestly do not think that the Mutineers are nearly as bad as some of the community members are maybe making out. I'm not pointing any fingers in particular here, but they really are a decent team and are very, very close to being in that mid-pack.
Yeah, to be honest with you, coming into this one, the statistics just told me it was going to be Surge all the way through. And I'll tell you something. It's okay to be wrong. Statistics don't always go the exact sort of way. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We would just do all this by spreadsheet. Oh, okay, they should win. It's all done. But I like seeing the underdog come through. Can they continue this, though, all the way into a win? That is the big difference for this one. I think things like even going so far, saying if we get to a map 5, that favors Surge, right? Like even our map 5 Tusk and S&D massively favors Surge. Can they do it before that point? It's going to be difficult.
I mean, look, when we looked at the first 2 maps myself, I know we're talking about stats, not necessarily leaning towards the Surge, but I really did not mind this pick and ban when it does come down to it for the Florida Mutineers. Those first 2 maps, I looked at them, and as far as a hard point goes, as far as an S&D goes, it's their best chances possible against the Surge statistically. And so far, so good, because we've seen them before on that one. Yes, okay, they had 2 goes at it, but they get it done the second time of asking. That's the one that's going to count. They're heading in now to a Berlin Search and Destroy. It's the only map they've won in Search. It's the only map Seattle have lost in Search. So, look, Seattle have to turn it around here, or can Florida once again continue to have some success when it does come down to Berlin Search and Destroy? We're about to head in to see if they can potentially take a 2-0 lead. Or can the Surge, who are the consensus team that a lot of people are looking at, to go up against FaZe and the likes of that team to be that number 1 team come the major in Arlington? Can they be that team to turn it around here, though, Bryce?
Well, today is a day of magic, and I've seen something on the Twitter sphere that's actually kind of making me chuckle myself, because it's actually come out of Slasher saying, has anyone actually ever won one of these replays? They gave everyone a run replay. It's kind of a thing you never win the replay. All the pro players
Never.
said. Mutineers have just managed to come through, win their replay as well. They're now in a great position as we go into the search and destroy.
I mean, in fairness, the fact that they had the replay was mostly down to the fact that we're 3v4 partially, and Skies will find the opening here with the sniper, with the automated, I should say, under Pred. The sniper was out from the side of Surge, and well, that is not where you want to sniper. Vivid eventually gets rid of Sib. It's a 2v4.
Well, at the moment, Mutineers look like they're going to continue this momentum. Really not interested in accuracy, though. Is there an opportunity here for it's basically trying to push water uphill. Not the easiest thing to do, unfortunately. This round one may be chalk, but someone's still alive, but finds his way to the middle of all three of the Mutineers and eventually goes down. I felt like it was a prolonged death.
I thought he was dead for about 20 minutes there, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how he's actually survived as long as he does. But a good start here for the Mutineers. And again, look, we talk about the replay. We talk about that kind of thing. How does it affect you mentally? It'll surely give the Mutineers confidence to sort of say, yeah, we should have won map number one the first time of asking, but unfortunately we lose Vivid. And the Surge are like, oh, you look, how could we not do it the second time? Do they let that affect them? Heading into map number two, it's the best possible start there for the Florida Mutineers. A pretty clean round of search and destroy. Can they do the same on the attack?
Moment on ball with Vivid.
Uh-oh.
Vivid's going to find two out the door. We're going to somehow manage to get one as well. An Awakening with the pistol. And it looks like with that bomb going down, heavy favor here for the Mutineers.
Awakening's going to get out. He is, yeah, he's out. Accuracy shots have went in. Awakening says, yeah, okay, I'm challenging it. Mack now in a 1 versus 3. The Mutineers absolutely flying here in the search and destroy. 2-0 now.
Yeah. Not just getting out, but winning that gunfight, deciding to take it and saying, hey, thank you very much. I will quite happily gun you down. I said before coming to this one, I felt like Berlin was the map for the Mutineers. Obviously, they got map 1 as well.
100% it is. And when we're seeing that bomb go down over towards B, there's only a 35% chance in terms of the statistics side of a team retaking that site. It's been very, very difficult on both sides of things to retake it when it does come down to these bombs going down. And a team that like to get the bomb down are the Surge. Can they start to make a count on these attacking rounds? They're going to have another stab at it here.
Oh, already a big fight going down. Pred's managed to get one. Awakening, holding firm, and they were so close to A. They were so close to coming through and falling into his trap. At the moment they haven't, though. It's going to fall onto Skies.
He has to go huge.
He needs the information. He needs to somehow call his friends over, and accuracy's going to gun him. And now the Mutineers are out of position. And we can see one as well, though. I think he's going to get it. TJHaly has managed to get Pred, bringing it back to a 2 versus 3. Still very much in the realm of possibility.
Oh, good shots from Sib. That should surely secure the round now as TJHaly all the way towards the back. Not going to be able to continue this one spree that he is currently on. Going to try and find something here. Or maybe find Sib, and then you can get something going. Those bullets just not doing the damage through the wall. Looking to try and fight. Oh, what a snap that is from TJHaly. He knows he's up there. 20 seconds to go. It's just such a hard retake with accuracy towards the back, though. Yeah, Bryce, it's such a difficult gunfight.
Yeah, you're going to have to take on accuracy, put some bullets in, and accuracy say, all right, I'll wait it out. You've got to try and defuse. Nothing you can do. TJHaly says, all right, I'm good then. I'm good. We'll let this one go.
Yeah, keep the streak alive if you possibly can. If you're TJHaly, that's 2 in a row from him. That will continue now as we head into round number 4. Surge still in the lead, though, and that just comes down to a really good play call for coming out. Oh, sorry, the Mutineers still in the lead. Is the fact that Surge come out with that play call there, though. They put up a lot of aggression over towards A. They find the gunfight towards A, and then they just wrap it round back towards B. And unfortunately for Skies, he kind of gets caught with his pants down a little bit. Kill comes through, and that's essentially the round right there. Mutineers, though, their turn to attack. Can they do the same once more?
You can see here comes a stack. The Mutineers. Awakening's going to be first in through the door. Hits him with a slide cancel. Vivid hits at the same time. It's a great push from the Mutineers.
They get this bomb down. They're in a really good spot, but also so is Pred. Around the back takes Awakening down. Skies will come on through and find Mack, though. Did he see Pred when he's trying to get in around behind him? Surely he did not. And there's Pred with another kill around the back, but it is going to be a 1v2 for him for the ace as well under Vivid. My goodness me.
Pred!
It's a 1v1.
What are you doing?
Oh, he found the first gunfight, can't quite find the second. The Mutineers get a fast and frantic round. 3-1 to them now, but Pred now he finds a ridiculous ace.
Unbelievable. That's just that last kill there shouldn't have happened, and a little bit of COD timing may have allowed it for the ace. Didn't play out that time, but what a journey.
Here we go then. aBeZy still on that spree. Keep an eye on that if Mutineers can continue this run. Offensive hold coming in here, and Surge need to change it up. aBeZy towards the back with the sniper. Don't you dare peek that. There you go. First kill. Pred down. Mutineers try and hold 4v3.
And again, here it is. This causes so many issues now for the Surge. They can't get the peak they want to.
Get this reached up. Stretching it.
Get it in. Nate is going to get him. If he gets one more, it's accuracy now with a 1 versus 4. Bomb is down. They know it's going to already be planted and defusing. Vivid doesn't care. He says, all right, take your time, mate. Round's over. Thank you very much. Doesn't even chow. Just stays there, goes, I'm good. I'm fine.
We don't
You
need
can
the
look at this as much as you like.
The Mutineers, though. My goodness, mate. It's the only map they've won on Search and Destroy. I mean, look, it's been banned every time next time they play this one because it seems to be the only one they can play, and playing it well at this moment in time up against the Surge. 4-1 to the good. aBeZy on a 6th spree. Can he find that important 7th? Oof.
What on earth is happening?
Is he just taking
in
a
this
bullet?
game?
He's just taking a bullet, 8 HP, and gets out.
Man's a unit. Does not want to get out. Said, all right. Have you got another? Well, you can see this. The Mutineers very, very spread out at the moment. Looking maybe for that A plan that is going to go down.
Is Mack going to see him?
Mack
Oh, he is. And there's aBeZy down 4v3.
That bomb is down. Can Surge get into position in time and win the gunfights? They need to try and stay alive here as Vivid finds one. Awakening finds one as well. And already Vivid is going berserk. This is all Mutineers all the time.
They can't put a foot wrong right now. They lose one gunfight towards the back, and then they win the next 3.
That round summed up by aBeZy just taking the sniper round. He's going, all right, I'm good. You know, we'll keep on rocking.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I presume Sim's like hit him through like a particle of a brick or something like that. That's the only reason he hasn't fallen. Usually it would do the trick, one on the chest.
Well, we were asking questions before this one about how it's going to go. I was confident. The Deaths were confident. Surge all the way. Well, the only thing Surge all the way on is hitting the L's. Just can't seem to get anything going in the Surge and Destroy. Sims is aBeZy. aBeZy backs out. Surge looking for this push here. Those doors are open. They have heard it. They are going to react.
Oh, look at this push here from the Mutineers down bottom middle. I don't think they've seen it. Awakening. Can he get through this door? Can they find the information here? And it's just going to be the Surge just completely unaware of what's going on. Pred towards the back, though, will be able to answer back. aBeZy will find one into Mack as well. It's a 3v2. Accuracy falls. Make that a 1 versus 4 for Pred. It's not going to happen. That bomb will be defused. The Florida Mutineers 6-1, 2-0 up against the Seattle Surge.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was quick. I gotta say that aBeZy, who barely put a foot wrong, only died that one time. Sitting there on the roof, got found by Mack. The rest of the time, lights out for them. And the Mutineers are now 2-0 up in this series. What is going on in the CDL?
The Mutineers, we've seen close games, but they've converted it into maps today. I mean, that wasn't close. Not even remotely.
It wasn't.
That was dominant search and destroy from the Mutineers. You just have to wonder, is that first map playing on Surge's minds that little bit? They win it once, they can't do it twice. And heading into map number 2 or 3, whichever way you want to look at it, they've been blown out of the water completely.
They have. And there's not an awful lot more to break it down. Every single time you thought maybe Surge had a little bit of control, it just disappeared. It completely evaporated. They let gaps through there. Awakening managed to get through in places he shouldn't have been allowed to. aBeZy was killing everything he come against. Essentially, basically just a ridiculous game of S&D there.
Yeah, just a clinical game of S&D from the Florida Mutineers. Very, very solid across the board. Their defenses were good. They were aggressive when they needed to be. They were passive when they needed to be. Had so many different ways of how they worked that search and destroy, and deservedly find themselves up 2-0.
Yeah, they certainly do. Well, let's find out how it gets on in map number 3 then. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with more of our game.
You know how to do this. Don't second guess. It's not a test. It's not a race. No black or white. Everything's great. No yesterday, never tomorrow. Only the present. That is your gift. It benefits you only if open. Everyone's chosen. Beauty of choice. You can stay silent. Forget your voice. You can malign them. Hold a grudge. Or stand before judge. Just stay in your case. Top of the notion that you were just a mere drop in the ocean. This is your moment. Fear is a Trojan horse. When you open or close your doors. Just when you feel like it's too much, just when you feel like you've had enough, take a step back from the edge and take a deep breath. Dance like you'll never, dance like you'll never, dance like you'll never, dance like you'll never, ever gonna live again. Sometimes you don't like where you live, sometimes you don't really like your kids, sometimes you grow out of your friends, sometimes it's your fault, just admit it. Finger point in the mirror, 3-point back, that's the tearjerker. You can wallow in sorrows, depressed of the past, afraid of the unknown tomorrow, or you can just live in the now. We all trying to figure it out. The rhythm inside of your chest that's keeping you moving, that's the solution. The ball on the floor is hard to ignore, endorphin rush will flush your brains while you dance your pain away. Just when you feel like it's too much, just when you feel like you've had enough, take a step back from the edge and take a deep breath. Dance like you'll never, 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 ever gonna live again.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are going into our map number 3. And Tan, to be honest with you, to begin with, we all thought it was going to be Surge, but the Mutineers have shown they are not to be trifled with today, and probably a very good sign for them going into the major.
I mean, yeah, if you want to start turning up, it's time to turn up now. And well, for the Seattle Surge, they find themselves in a really rough spot, but the story has to be the Mutineers, the ones who've come flying out the gates. Look, I mean, map number 1, they had to do it twice, and we've seen Slasher on Twitter saying, does that ever happen? Well, it has done now. It's going to be the Mutineers to take map number 1, and an emphatic map number 2 from them as well has led them into control with the potential to 3-0 Seattle Surge. That is not something I thought I would be saying today, Bryce. Honestly, I thought this would be a 3-0, but maybe the other way, if I'm frank, not in this direction.
Hey, Pickham's in the bin. Pickham's in the bin.
Oh, they're on fire.
We haven't even gotten started yet. We've submitted more games today, and already nobody knows what's going on. But let's find out. Is this all momentum based? Is Florida able to get this one done and dusted here in 3? Or will Surge come back into it and show us why they are currently, I believe, 2nd in our standings?
Let's see if they can get it done here. This match so far, Sib has not been at the races. 1.23 is something that is very difficult to keep up with, but a 0.68 is not necessarily what we've come to expect from Sib so far this season. He needs to step it up here, especially as we head into Control, which, I mean, on the basis of things, is probably Florida's better mode, I would say. I mean, look, it wasn't very hard in terms of the stats to pick a best mode. This is the only one that they're not negative on, but I mean, that's all going to change after this today with the way that they've been playing. But the Mutineers, not a terrible control team whatsoever. 1-1 in Tuscan so far, can then convert it into a 3-0 win here against the Surge. Let's find out.
Looking for it now, Simp, trying to get this one opening, but it is the Mutineers to open up proceedings as well as the kill feed goes all towards them. Fortunately, Simp was able to hold down Top Church for just a few seconds. They are going to try and shut him down in here. But at the moment, he's just playing for his life, allowing his teammates a little bit of breathing room to come back into it.
Nice stack going to come in a second from the Florida Mutineers. It's a really nice open for it. Based on the map, it looks like Surge are going to have another little look to try and break this down. Vivid playing the courtyard. We've got 2 up top. Church, there's 1. Sib is going to come for the challenge. Not quite. Oh, Vivid's baiting him. He's baited him. Completely smart player from Vivid. They haven't managed to get a hold of it yet, but they may well do now. Dave Paddy moving forward. Vivid has control of the Church. And the Surge kind of at 6s and 7s here. Eventually are going to get control of it towards the Church, and Ace still has not been captured, but nonetheless a good start for the Mutineers.
At the moment, it's still very possible for Surge, though, bearing in mind they've not had a great start, but this isn't really always about A. It's a lot of the times here on this map about B. And you can see Vivid's going to try and make a little bit more chaos. Looking for these extra kills. They have the life advantage at the moment. Can they convert it?
Pred's going to fall up top Church as well. The challenge over towards the back, though. I'm expecting Sib in that position. Plenty of shots going in from accuracy towards the Church. Only yet to pick up 1 kill. And keep an eye on those lives remaining. Plenty of time for the Mutineers to potentially play this if they want to start getting aggressive.
See here, I'm trying to make a bit of a move. They've Paddy looking for this first wave of kills. It's going to be huge for them. Pred flies out to challenge Skies, though, gets back onto Mack. Vivid gets one again. And I feel like we've all been talking about Vivid this far so far, and Awakening gets another one. This is where they've got to start, trying to hit them off the respawn. Reinforcements flying in for the Mutineers, trying to get bodies here for these trades.
Great shots coming out from Awakening. Keep an eye on those kills, though. They really are falling very, very fast for the Surge. Only 13 remaining to Mutineers' 18. And it could be influential on how this map ends, but look at the aggression coming in here from the Mutineers. They're forcing them away. Surge are gonna have to come in from the flank, and here comes the push once more. Can Awakening hold the back? Gets a little bit of rough timing, but still surviving.
This is where it's dangerous. Surge could do with a breather. They could do with winning these gunfights. Awakening is going to go down. He gets caught out just a second ago. Vivid's going to go down as well. Pred takes him, and they have managed to clean it out just a second. That second tick didn't go in for the Mutineers either.
They got so much time, though. I think this next flurry of gunfights really decides the round. Whichever way it goes. It's going to be influential. Here comes the push, though, from the Mutineers. Pred and Mack will find 2. Second coming in from Pred. Finds a 3rd as well, and that just may well shut down the Florida Mutineers. B-Zone's pushed all the way back. They can kind of regain their positioning and control on the map, and Mutineers have to do all that hard work once more.
And this is what we were talking about. It's not always about A. It's B that is the difference maker in these games.
Every time.
And Mutineers had all the advantages, Ton. They had the lives, they had the momentum. Vivid was cutting people down, and now Pred says thank you very much. He finds 2, almost found the 3rd as well, by the way. That player managed to get out of there, but the Mutineers look a little bit stuck.
I mean, he nearly spins onto Awakening as well, but Pred has awoken. going to be very, very hard, but the Mutineers, it's still 6 lives apiece. It's all about this push. Awakening and Vivid have done very, very well. Accuracy's going to take some shots, but Mack finds one under Skies, a second onto Awakening. Vivid finds Simp, but Accuracy with another important kill. It's momentarily all down to Vivid. Had the rest of the team got time to get here, there's only 2 of them left on the side of the Mutineers for this final push.
Vivid doesn't want to go. He wants to try and get through. He's got one, though. It's a 3 versus 3. No, 2 versus 3. Skies is here. They want to break. They're not going to be able to make it. It's about the kills. They stay. And that was the issue. You can tell he's contemplating, like, maybe we can get in if I can touch it. Unfortunately, they were all aiming. All of Surge was set up, and it's disappointing for the Mutineers. You thought they had the opportunity to convert that into a win, but defense reigns supreme, and Surge hold on.
Still, though, in terms of an actual round where it goes down to kills, it goes down to how well you've done in the round, that could potentially help you heading into round number 5 if we do get there, of course. But the Surge, they find themselves in the lead here in the control. 2 down in the series. Let's have a listen into their comms with a listen in here with the Seattle Surge.
Middle. I'll look deep. One shot, Dave. He's mid alley. Look this out. Top broken. One shot mid alley.
I'm looking top broken.
Good shit, boys.
I'm on streaks, guys.
I'm gonna go push through B.
I have a glide.
I'm pushing through their side. I'm pushing through A.
I got naded. He's their side.
I'm flanking top church.
One church.
Closer side, dead. We're fucking winning this shit. I don't see him back pouch. I'm back pouch right now looking for
bottom church.
Listen, I have a glide. You guys have church? Hold church, okay?
Alright. I'm holding back arches. 3 back A. 3 back A.
Okay, hold church. I'm gonna glide.
I'm looking back.
Ready? I'm gliding.
I spawned well. One's fucking in our base.
Okay. 2 windows, 1 back alley. Okay, I'm trying to kill the kid back alley. I got him. 2 windows.
I'll come with you.
I'm in the back. They're P5 in me. I'll left P5.
I'm seeing back alley, Mack.
I still
back alley.
I'm fine. I heard you.
Close up. Dead.
I'm starting at point. Come windows. This guy could be fine.
Ramp. One shot on point.
Top flat weak. Top church race.
One shot in the back.
Regroup and go left again.
I'm going left again. He's mid alley Vivid, okay? He's gonna play under broken or top broken.
Push up. He ran to the side.
Okay, you 2 work P5 then.
I'm
He could be low well on you, you heard?
Yeah, he probably is. I'm gonna drop low and clear it. I drop low.
Top church. One top church.
I'll go leap on it. I'm gonna show.
I'm gonna go P1, okay?
Top church to windows.
Awakening's gonna be here, okay?
Windows weak, Caesar.
You guys work mid. Let me know when you guys are there.
I'm stunning him in windows. He's stunned, go easy.
Windows. Guys,
D1 Reese, D1 Reese on bottom church.
D1 dead.
Almost windows. Windows on me. One more time.
Bottom church, Caesar going top. No, he's playing his life, going to ramp, maybe ramp.
Okay.
I stuck ramp.
One's pot on me.
Nice! Caesar was off spawn ramp.
Top church.
That was it.
I'm flanking. I'm
Heard you. Weak top church.
I'll go on this one.
Well, Seattle Surge throwing themselves into the grind. There's some impassioned words there about whether or not they thought they could win it, but at the moment they're having the difficulty of attacking B here, and it's always horrible to see teams do so well and then just fall under the guns of the defending team.
Had hell of a start over towards A, and Pred, as you said, with the words to try and encourage his team, but right now it's a very hard push over towards B. They do have the life advantage, but it doesn't count for very much if you can't get control. But Mack and Simp combining well. Mutineers gonna have to retake, yeah.
Looking for it. Just trying to get Mack. Unfortunately, it's just such a difficult angle to hit. They're trying to stay alive. Reinforcements are here for him. If they can make a wave of kills, this could be huge already. That's 1. They're looking for this. Keep an eye on number 6 as well, though. Accuracy is going to try and hit a little bit of a flank on them. Awakening gets one down the back. Vivid's going to get one. Accuracy does slow them down just a second. You can see
5 lives.
they want to make this move.
Mutineers can only drop 1 more. There it is. Every other life is one that's not going to come back, but the gunfights are starting to be one day. Paddy will find one of his own. Time is just not on Surge's side, Bryce.
It really isn't. They're looking now to try and go through it. He found Dave Paddy. It's not going to be enough. He's going to go for it now. Mack's now flying in. They're looking for this one. And it's too far. It's too far. It's the time again. And it's getting very tense. Every single time we see the A hit, the attacking team looks confident. They seem like they're in a good mood. And then they hit the wall. And that wall is the B site. It's just so difficult to be consistent on it. Essentially, you have to make multiple sets of kills on these players because your reinforcements are so far away.
They just need to listen to Shotzzy, what he said last night. Just at the point, bro. That's all they need to do. It's that simple. No, look, it seems to be the only way to win it effectively. But here we go. This is maybe another tactic coming out from the Mutineers. It's a 4-man over towards B. Surge of Reddit, though, sent 3 over. The Skies is going to eventually win the gunfight in the Pred. Important kills coming on through, though, because Mutineers, it's for them wasting time and wasting lives over towards B. But if they can get one tick, who am I to argue?
See, it is right now. It's just grueling. Players from both sides just trading blows in the middle of the map. On board with Sib. Sib's going to go down the Skies. At some point here, obviously, it will be the Mutineers say, hey, we just got to grab 8.
Well, then may not be able to do that, though. Mack comes in, finds 3 as well. All on his own, and now Surge can push out here. But the Mutineers, I mean, look at the Mutineers. They're holding their sights straight away, coming off spawn and holding their L triggers. Mack now getting aggressive, gets caught out by Owakening, playing a very patient game. It has to be the hit for the Mutineers over towards A. It has to be.
They do have to get bodies in that area. They really do. Sib comes for a challenge as well, and I think now it may be a little bit of poke from the Seattle Surge, but maybe not a full commit. They'll be looking for the exit kills on this more than anything. They know Mutineers have bodies in the area. They don't really want to throw away any more lives.
It's only 1 life difference. Make that 19 apiece now. We'll keep an eye on them as the rounds do continue on. But 30 seconds remaining here. And honestly, Surge might just have another look at this one. That's going to be 3. It's going to be 4 as well as Pred gets around the back. 30 seconds here for the Mutineers to find a breakthrough and get a hold of A.
You can see there's already a cutback going to be just in case they want the time here. They will give A up very, very easily if they need to.
They're going to now.
They have done. Yeah. I was going to say, at a point it becomes about lives, and they don't want to give them away if they don't need to. They know B is easy to defend, but there's no point kind of playing it too risky. Awakening that with a big gun onto Pred. Mutineers have 1 minute 12 left to do this, and the lives are even.
Be a huge time to do it as well. Heading into a 4th round with a 2-1 lead and defense on your side, this would be the time to do it. Awakening now shots into accuracy, and well, he can maybe see the top of his head, but it was more than enough for Awakening. Can he predict Mack coming around behind as well? The tick is coming on through. Pred will catch this son. Has the back on down, and good aggression from the Surge on the back of that. 3 down. Vivid last here momentarily, a minute to go.
And that's the issue. Mutineers look like in a good position. Had positioning, had numbers with them. And then Surge just popped out of every corner and started winning. And as soon as you start losing those gunfights, you have to back up and play live. That's what Vivid did. 25 and 25, by the way. Just being incredibly aggressive.
Right, and Sib combining well. TJHaly will find another 7v8 in the favor of Surge. Make that 6v8. Good shots from TJHaly though into Sib. They may well stack the point here. The last one remaining at this moment of time is Mack, who finds 2. Vivid over towards the patio. There has to be careful. Has to survive. Only 4 lives remaining. You need to stay alive. It's 1 final push out of the Mutineers.
Awakening gets 1. And now looking to get into a position here. They want to bounce off it. Awakening gets a 2nd as well. Vivid jumps into the point here. It's a stack coming in. It's a 4 versus 3. The Mutineers managed to fly into it. They are stacking it. It's going fast. Accuracy is flanking, but he's so far away. He has to be dived in. And the Surge do not have it. The Mutineers have taken that attack. They go up 2-1. Patience, and I don't even know what to call it. They had every opportunity to lose that, but they won all the gunfights, and Awakening had the key. He opened the door.
He's beaming. Absolutely beaming is Awakening right now. Every single time accuracy is one of those barrels, he's had his head wiped off his shoulders by Awakening. And that opened the door. And Mutineers come charging through it. Defense to hold for the 3-1 win in control and a 3-0 statement victory over Surge. You have it all to do.
Oh, on board with Awakening. Hot hand there in that last part of it. Finds Mack. He's going to go down as well. Seattle Surge not out of this as Mack is opening up. Oh my God! Max is all right. All of you out. We're done. He's 30 and 19. It wasn't a 4 streak. Is it going to eventually go down? But that will be a pretty fast A cap by the look of it from the Surge. Pred getting some kills down as well. It's heavily in favor now of them. The Surge have said, hey, that was disappointing for us. We shouldn't have lost it. Watch us take this.
They will get a hold of A with 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. It's going to come down to a very close end once again, you would imagine. But they've got so much time. They've got so much map control. Can they make it count here? So many times we've seen this from attacking teams and they haven't been able to make it work. And TJHaly more than ready for that. Awakening, Vivid, both finding kills. They shut down this push. They can have a few more to deal with.
Well, it's about map control now, and the Surge will be worried every single step of the way. It's always so difficult. You feel like a team gets so much momentum off that A, and then when it comes down to it, you go all over B and you just fail over and over again.
And Mack is still frying. He's been going crazy this whole entire game. Accuracy towards the back. The shots in the skies are solid. The stack may come here, but Owakening is going to slow it down. Where's the rest of the Florida Mutineers? Gonna have to come in off the flank. Vivid trying to cut off the head of the snake, but Pred's behind, and this has just been flawless so far from Surge. Owakening Co trying to defend. And 25 to go. Surely the lives are going to start coming into this really shortly.
Oh, this is it. Owakening continuing to do work here. And every time, by the way, the Surge do not get killed somewhere on the map that isn't near the point, it's slowing down their push. daveBaddie's got so many against him here. He's probably screaming for reinforcements. You can see he's backed up. And it's a double stack. You can see Mutineers versus Surge. They're about to all hit. aGeZy gets that first blood coming through. Mack is backing him up as well. daveBaddie inside. Awakening, though, cuts down 2, and that's disappointing for Surge. They wanted the kills to open this one up. Awakening for 3! And it's so bad. Mutineers are not willing to let this one go. The Surge, every time they put a toe over the line, it's being cut off.
They just need one big break, though. That's what they've been saying in the comms. 1-4 down is what can make the difference here. Look at Vivid, though, just playing that lingering player. Gets caught out by Pred, though, so that's the rear side cleared out. And now here comes the push. daveBaddie has to go huge. Finds one. Can he find the second as well? Towards the back. Sim and Mack drop. There's only 22 seconds remaining. And only 7 lives for the Surge.
This is unbelievable. This is not the scoreline we thought was coming into this one, but the Mutineers have ignored all the predictions, all the hype around Surge and how good they are this year, and just said, hey, we're about to hit the major. We're about to hit full form. 5 seconds left. Mack is trying to throw a shoulder. A nade comes out as well. Awakening is in him. Lights out so far this game. And that is over. 3-1 in the control. 3-0 in the game. The Mutineers walk away as the underdogs, but the winners of this one.
Well, it's a 3-0, but absolutely not in the direction that anybody expected. Florida Mutineers with one of the biggest upsets so far in the CDL this year. 3-0 over the Seattle Surge. And what's that sound like? It's everyone looking at their pick'ems and crying because that is not what you expected.
I don't know who had the pick'ems here for the Mutineers. I don't know who had them, but
tell me, because if there's anybody, I don't even know what to say.
Probably only one man I know who'd pick them, just on the off chance, probably be Chance, but that is ridiculous. Well,
unbelievable.
It's crazy. It is so crazy the momentum that the Mutineers have taken in this. We went into the S&D, and then we went into the control, and you know what? We started, bearing in mind, right? We started off the control with Surge looking like they were ready for a revenge tour. They came into it, they thought that this was going to be all them, the start of their reverse sweep. Unfortunately, they weren't accounting on the Mutineers just being sublime.
By the way, this from Mack was the shining light for Surge. That was the start to the 4th round. We thought, right, Surge, they look locked in. But they couldn't get it done, and it's the previous round for the Mutineers that gets the job done. Of course, the attack comes through, but how huge is this? daveBaddie finds one, stun out. I think he may well have hit him in the face with it as well, which would have helped Sib on his way to the respawn queue. My word. The Mutineers. What a performance. And as I was saying through the series, yes, okay, a lot of people, myself included, have slept on them, but I think something that hasn't been taken into consideration of how many close games they have had. And this time around, they turn it into a win. What a game.
It really was. What a scoreline, what a win. And quite unbelievable, I suppose. All this really does, Ton, is spice things up for the upcoming major. We're getting to see teams. I'll tell you something. I'll give you a full transparency here. We were talking about pick'ems. We were going to do our power rankings next week, ready for the major. We've got emails about it saying, "Hey, do your power." My power rankings going to be, and I'm just going to send them back a picture of a fire and be like, I don't know who's on top now. The power rankings are destroyed. Everything is wrong.
Yeah, I know. Like, we did get asked to do that. So any tweets towards anybody, again, we'll go full transparency. We'll be trying to help out with the pick'ems, the power rankings, I should say, as best as we can. But honestly, I'm going to need a few people to help me right now because I actually don't know. Surge would have been absolutely up in the top 2s. A lot of people will argue they are still there. But the form of some of these teams has been so up and down. The only team that has been convincing is obviously FaZe. They've been flawless all the way through, so to speak. But even then, they had a bit of a shaky start. But the Surge, they look like faultless at times. And there and then, though, they get it done to the Mutineers. And by the way, they haven't just beat them. They beat them 3-0. That, I don't know what to tell you, mate. I haven't got a clue what's going on, but I'm here for more of it. Plenty more of it.
Yeah, me too. Well, enough from us talking here. Let's throw it back to the desk to break this one down. I'm sure there's some big smiles coming out of our analysts.
Veli got it right.
Wondering what's
Let's
happening.
go, Veli.
Let's go. You know
He
what
did predict it right.
I had some little like haters messaging me on Twitter like, hey, you're gonna say that about Florida? At least I predicted it, man. But yo, that was big. Florida Mutineers with a big 3-0 win over what looked like the hottest team in the CDL, Seattle Surge, nameless. I love upsets, man. That's beautiful.
Man, that was a wild series. Not only did they 3-0 them, they smoked them. Like 250 to 200 on that map 1. They were winning by more than that for a lot of that map. Like, these guys played lights out. Like what we were saying in the pre-show, what we needed to see out of Vivid in the control, he did it. He brought those engagements. He's like 30 and 32. He ended something like that. So like the guy was playing fantastic. Dave Patty in the Search and Destroy, just mental what these guys were able to do. They look so much better. And what is even crazy about the series is there's so many moments that they could have actually still done better. So there's room for more improvement. But this was a good showing of like the ceiling that Florida has with that individual talent. When they're not making as many mistakes, they're able to beat a team as good as Seattle Surge.
See, I mean, aLLeY, like Nameless just said, this is what Florida looks like when they can actually finish games. What are your complete thoughts about this series?
I mean, they finally won a boat cage. I'm so happy. What's hilarious about that, though, is they actually, Owakening and Skies, had a really slow start, but they were keeping it so close, and then they come out with the W as well. So they pulled back a little bit on the sling and got a little bit more OBJ under their belt. But Dave Patty on that Search and Destroy, man, the snipe on the door, I was just sitting there like, oh my God, don't go away. Rat B, Seattle, like, don't peek this again. Dave has got it on lock. And then they go for the plant, and then he nades him off bomb. I'm like, dude, he's literally so nasty, Berlin.
There's no way anybody's going to play them on Berlin anymore. They love just going to that A bomb site. It works so well for them. And then also their retakes. Like, you see how confident they play pushed up with Dave Patty with the sniper getting angles. Like, he got the first bullet in the doorway. I think it was on accuracy. And then he comes with a follow-up grenade to help his team out. Like, they've gotten a lot better at that map mode combination. Like, they were 1-4 in Search and Destroy headed into that. That didn't look like a 1-4 Search and Destroy team to me.
They clapped them.
Honestly, I think it was possible for them to have such a quick turnaround. But that's a big showing headed into the major.
You know, speaking of which, let's go ahead and have our Game Fuel post-victory spotlight interview with the one and only Dave Patty. And Dave, yo, that was a sexy win by you guys. Big 3-0 over Seattle Surge. But I have to ask you all, going into Bacage hardpoint, the first map, and seeing Vivid lag out, I mean, that must have been a blow to you guys. But seeing how you all lost by only 14 points and you had to replay the map, were you guys comfortable going into that remake?
100%. We were nonstop saying that if Reese was there during the map, he would have won that map. So we were very happy that the ruling went in our favor.
All right.
Completely agree. And I have to ask you, what is it like being a rookie on the squad, being in the main AR role, and kind of being the IGL in game?
It's sometimes difficult because being a rookie and being an IGL, like, I gotta see my boundaries and like let my teammates do what they do all the time, where they can be good players. Because the reason why they're on this team is because they're good players, but also gotta try dictating our game plan. So I gotta find a balance between like forcing a game plan and also just letting my teammates do their thing and, you know, be the stars they are.
Dave Patty, congratulations on the win. You guys definitely need that headed into the major. You guys look incredible today. It just looks so much different than some of your guys' previous matches. Why is that? What leads to the inconsistency with you guys where, you know, today you come out and you beat one of the top 2 teams in the game, 3-0, seemingly no map was close?
Yeah. I mean, it's just from the start of the day, the vibe of the day. Like, everyone being focused, everyone in the warm-up practice giving their best, giving their hardest comms, giving their, like, warming up for a while. Like, this the preparation into the match, the day of, like, I think matters the most.
All right, now heading into the first major, the OpTic Major 1. What is something that you want your team to work on, and how good do you feel about that event that's right around the corner?
I think our comms, our setups, our teamwork, just things that lead to consistency. Like, make sure we have a set game plan for every hill, a set game plan for every control point when we're defending or we're breaking. And once we're all on the same page, I think it'll be really good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the interview, man. We'll catch you next time. And, hey, keep killing it out there, dude. It's good to see you guys win, man.
Yeah.
No problem. Take it easy. All right. So, aLLeY, this is it. We just saw a big upset. Okay.
Yeah.
Seattle fell to Florida, but coming up next, we're going to have the New York Subliners, a winless team facing off against Boston Breach. Is your body ready?
Well, you know what? If anything's going to happen today, it's going to be more upsets. So honestly, everybody's pick'ems are chalked first on the day with Seattle losing, and now we're going in NYSL versus Boston Breach. Boston Breach has been looking fantastic thus far. NYSL clearly a very slow start to the season, but it's been nothing but upsets the past 2 days. So who knows, dude?
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with this season basically looking like the multiverse of madness with all the upsets and results so far, coming up next, we're going to have a banger of a matchup. The New York Subliners looking to get their first big win on the season, but it's not going to be easy. They're facing against the Boston Breach, one of the latest additions to the CDL, with their rookie Capsidal that is tearing the scene up right now. We'll catch you guys on the other side of this break for more CDL action.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
And he'll have some words for Prim 6.
Forcing the issue on the flank. He's inside of the bait, and that's going to be 5 in a row. How about 6? On the fence, there's 2, there's 3.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soul, I'm putting